Hello, and welcome to a new episode on the Just Create server, where we are going to be building the rest of the dungeon. But first, I had the idea of making a new shop. So we have the shulker boxes in here, but I was thinking, what if we want people to be able to dye the shulker boxes, or at least dye anything else, like wool and glass and stuff. So what I want to do here is make a laundromat. So what I want to do...
What you doing?
Hello, I'm making a laundromat.
A laundromat?
Yeah.
I have so many questions, but I also don't want spoilers, so I'm building over there, so I'm just going to keep facing that way.
You're good, it's fine. Your video is going to come out earlier than mine either way, so it's totally fine.
Oh no, so it's going to get... okay, I'll try not to look too much at your laundromat.
No.
I will probably almost definitely look at your laundromat. And have a little poke around and try and work out why you're making a laundromat.
You'll see it in a second. But I my upload schedule is so much lower than most of you guys, so I have no problem with spoilers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'll just be like ooh, looks nice. Yay.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to hop into a time lapse and explain what I'm doing.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Bye. All right, I have my area done. So this is going to be the size of the actual building, or the actual area where people are going to be able to get to is where all the floor is in. The rest is all going to be technical stuff. So half of this more than half of this, I would say, is all redstone. And for the redstone, it's fairly simple, but it's very compact, so I'll run you guys through it real quick. So we're going to start off with a barrel on each of these, and then we'll go over to our good friend the depot right there. To transport or to actually get stuff into this barrel, we're going to use packagers, because we can bulk get some bulk stuff in here. This right there, I do need a block to block that off so it doesn't fall on the ground, and you'll see why in a second. And then we'll grab another barrel up here, right? So people will be inputting their wool or their whatever they want to color, they'll put in here. Then we'll put it onto this guy using this packager, and then we'll just loop it around. We'll use some of these guys right there. Nope. Right there. So basically we're sending, let me get up there. So we're inputting our stuff in here. This is going to package up one stack at a time. And then the stack is going to be put onto the depot. That's the easy part. Now, how are we going to color it? There is this thing called, if we look up wool, we can do this thing called bulk coloring using liquid dye. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one station for each color of dye. And so if I do this, right? The thing is, I'm not going to be using this fan. This fan is purely aesthetic, and you'll see why in a second. Because I kind of want to make it look like it's a washing machine. But I'm going to put the actual fan up here so that I can color from the top down. We could power it now, and it would work, right? Now we do want to make it so it works on payment and not just for free. And that's where this stuff is going to come in handy. I'm going to pick a vault with another chute on it. We'll set this guy to exactly 1, because this is where people are going to input their diamonds. And then exactly 1 is going to be taken out. We'll put in another barrel over here. That's going to be our input. Our output, I would say. So that barrel is going to be our output. And now we have to lock this and make sure that we have a timer of some sorts set up. Okay, I have the timer in place. So now we're basically checking if there's anything in here, right? Any comparator or redstone output in there. And then this guy is set to 30 seconds. So every diamond is going to last 30 seconds. Then we're snaking this down, and then we have a timer over here that's going to unlock this barrel. I do still need to set up the filters, which I probably should do while we are working on it. So I'm going to grab 1 diamond. on me, and we're just going to put in a diamond over there. So only diamonds can get through, and then whatever we want in there is fine. There's one more thing I need to do, and that's lock the clutch. And we're going to do that by putting you on there. We're going to repeat our pattern in here, and then use a little bit of redstone right there. So now that clutch is powered, meaning that this won't work as long as there's no diamonds in this vault. And that's it. That's one unit, basically. I do need to do an output, which is fairly simple. I'm just going to put these guys in here, in the barrel, and then we're going to take you as an output over here. And then just to clean it up a little bit, we're gonna be putting that in there. Okay, that's a complete unit. So we'll put the paint or the liquid dye in here, and then we'll have a little washing machine below there. Now I need to do this 15 more times in sequence. So I'm gonna hop into another time lapse, get this done, so that I can explain this a little more. Oh, before we do that, I am gonna put another barrel in here. I'm gonna put another barrel in here to have a simpler output. That way I don't have to like fiddle in there. I can always just take out the diamonds over here. But yeah, there's no way to really test this real quick because there's no power over here. Maybe I should grab power first so I can test it out. Alright, so technically this should now work. We've got it all hooked up. We've got power running. As you can see, now it's off. And if I put in one diamond, we should get 30 seconds of power. That's a good sign. As you can see now, this guy's running. This guy's off. And when this guy takes over, after 29 seconds, this is going to unlock this guy, which is now holding it. And then it's going to turn off. There we go. And then this guy should end up in here. Good. That's what we want. Now I need to do this 15 more times. Alright, I've got all of them in. I would like to do the building next, but I got a call from, well, the people who are running that building, and we need to attend a court meeting. So let's see what that is all about.
The court session was a lot of fun, and you should definitely watch both Stam's and Foxy's point of view. I just sat there to enjoy the chaos brought on by Mr. Onion and Silent Whisper, and I did take out my camera to take a bunch of pictures of the court session, so I have those for future shenanigans. But that's all I'm going to say about this, and you should definitely go and watch the other videos about this, because you'll see a lot more, and it's a better point of view. Mine is just all the way from the back of the courthouse. There's nothing much to see, so we'll keep it at that, and we'll get back to the important business.
Well, that was an experience and a half. If you want to see the entire thing, go and watch, I think, Stam's and Foxy's video. I'm going to keep building on this, but before we actually get a building in, I want to make these functional. And there's two more things that we need to do for that. So one more thing that we need to do is filter out the outputs. So every funnel that comes out of one of these stations for a dyed item of sorts. On the other hand, we also need to collect all the liquid dyes. Let me grab all the dye that I have, or at least 4 of each. 4 of each, because if I combine 1 bucket of water with 4 pieces of dye, I get liquid dye. So now I just have to make all the colors. And then we grab this, we put our dye in, and then we quickly close it again before everything floods. Right, that's all the colors in, and now we just need to grab some filters. I should be able to use these attribute filters to pick a color of any dyed object, like dyed wool, and then is tagged dyed light gray. And then if we use this filter on this segment, anything that is dyed light gray, even if it's a candle, wool, doesn't really matter what it is, will drop out of here and end up in this barrel. It should be ready to test this out. I put in, let's say I want some cyan stained glass. I put in my glass in the lower one. It should... maybe not. Okay, so now that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Let's see. Are we now working? Let's go. Yeah. And then we put in 1 diamond on the top. And this should be working. There we go. That's beautiful. That's actually perfect. And then I can go and collect the diamonds in these barrels. Now we just have to put a building around this. I'll get building, I guess.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
I just bought some shells from you.
Ah, we like a good customer.
That's right. Looks like you got a new store going up too.
Oh yeah, want to see what it is?
Is this a casino?
No, it's a laundromat.
Oh, okay. That is cool.
It's a laundromat.
Look at that.
You'll be able to bulk dye items with our state-of-the-line washing machine or dyeing machines.
That is really cool.
So how you bulk dye using a fan. So basically, the same way you wash an item, you can use liquid dye instead of water to dye it.
Got it. Okay. That is really cool. Well, it'll help everybody sort of schnazz out their outfit a little bit.
Well, that and it takes away the struggle of getting brown dye and like green dye and stuff, because you can just dump in a load of wool if you need green wool or like concrete powder in here and just dye it.
Got it. Okay. Nice. Well, I'll leave you to it. I was actually probably going to go buy some cardboard from you as well.
All right, that's it. It's done. So maybe I need to explain what this is first. I tried to make this look like it's a laundromat, so like coin-operated washing machines, basically. But every washing machine has their own color. Every machine has its own purpose. This is like your waiting area. Whenever you're waiting for your laundry to get done, you can like read a book or something. But this are like vending machines, because every place that I've been to has like vending machines and stuff. And these are some step-by-step instructions. So you put your items in the bottom drawer, then you pay in the top drawer, and then step 3 is to enjoy some of the brightest colors on the server. I've done some more advertising, so done there, and then I added some posters in the station as well. And there is one more thing that I want to do, and that is to bring over our market stall, which we have still at our base, over here. How we're gonna do that, I don't know. I think we'll put the vault upstairs, maybe. And then we'll have like a little segment out here for our market stall. We have the shop ready. We've moved it all the way from over there, over here. We have everything stocked up as well. Let me check. See, we've got all the items stocked as well. They're all linked to these guys, and I've put them all at 256 for 1 diamond. I'm probably not gonna fix this up yet because somebody could like fit a building in here, which is kind of good, or we make it like a big parking lot maybe. We'll see what happens to the surrounding area before we close this up. But I think it's time for us to, well, first, also I've got these to work. We have the sniffers right over at our base. They are passively producing pitcher pods and what is torch flower seeds. So I've put those in vending machines because I don't really use them all that much. And if I do, I can always grab some. But I know some people like to build with them. So what I've done is I've made a vending machine so that I can do, let's say it's 1 diamond, right? We do that, and we get a torch flower seed. And this one is for pitcher pots. I know I'm gonna get the question, why do you have all the outputs on separate barrels and not just all pointing into one general storage? It's because I want to see what color is most popular. But for now, I'll just go back into my hole. So I'll fly over there. So I'll do most of the bulk building in a time lapse because that's just placing blocks. There's no real thinking behind it. And I'll see you all for the interesting stuff. This is going to be the second, well, the real entrance to the dungeon, and we need to make sure that this little square is an elevator that goes down. Then the only thing that we need is an elevator shaft that goes all the way up there, or a mechanical piston. Then we need to get power. I think it'll be easiest to get power from there. Bring that down, I guess. Or I could come from there, across. That might actually be easier. So let's send you out that way. And then I need to count how many blocks up I need. So that's 1, 2, 10. So let's try 10 first. We're gonna want to fill this hole in. But yeah, that's looking good. And then we'll put it on a timer so the door closes behind them. And the only way out is through the dungeon. Now there is a thing that we need to do. Because we need to give them keys, basically. And the way I want to do it is every player will get a personalized item. So what I wanted to do is have a depot over here that basically reads or filters on those keys, and then we'll read out a thing out here. Don't really need. For 10 seconds. Right, okay, now that's fine. I can live with that. I can live with that. Now, this is pretty good, but we do need to filter. And try that again. Right, that's good. That's good. That's the one we want. Right, you go back in here. And then all I need to do is figure out a way to kind of read these items, right? I need to figure out a way for me to read out the items and determine who's in the dungeon, basically. Because that's going to be important for their loot. I'm going to go into a creative world. I'm going to see what I can do with this whole setup. And I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to actually determine who is in the dungeon now. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 because we need 8 of these modules, but I'm gonna do 1 so I can explain what's going on. Let me get the shape in first. Do something like that. Right, and then I need to check where I need to put my droppers. I think it's like here, that one, and then I need to get this one looking down. We got 2 repeaters in here, a slab over here, and another block in there. Then we'll do this. I do need a piece of redstone dust up there. Okay, so we need 1 piece of redstone up here. And now technically, if I press a button on this, that should turn off. Okay, good. Basically what we have is we have an item in here, right? And if we click this button, or if we power this block, right, it sends the signal up, it powers the droppers, and it moves the item to the top dropper, the reading and output, right? It's a T flip-flop, but I've set it up in this configuration for a very specific reason. But I need to get the other 8 in here first before I can show you what the other idea is. So let me get the rest in, and then we'll do the selection panel. So this is basically our selection panel. So if I put a button on each of these blocks, right? Let me put them on the front so I can easily see the output as well. And I select one, that torch is going to turn off. But if I select another one, that's going to turn back on, and this one is going to. So you can only select one of these because they're all linked together at a time. We still need a way to trigger these. So I'm probably just going to add some filters and create components to make that easier. Okay, I think I figured something out. So eventually we'll have a belt going under here and a belt going under this guy, which will be our input. So the top belt will be our input, and then the lower belt will be our output. Now, if we put something in this barrel, right now we need this to be locked. So we're gonna, oh god. So we are going to invert you, so that's locked. And if I put something in the barrel, doesn't really matter what it is, so I can just put like that in. It'll power that. Apparently it didn't, never mind. I forgot the most important part. This piece of redstone right there. So, let me try that again. We'll reset the system to player 2. And we'll input our wrench or our shovel in here. There we go. Okay, now I need to put in, well, the system again, everywhere. I got in the rest of the redstone, and then I set up a belt to return the key to the entrance of the dungeon by using a bunch of frog ports and chain conveyors. There's one more thing that I need to do, and that is connect the end of the dungeon to the start. And I want to use some train tracks and a bogey, but I don't want to make it look like a train. So give me a second, I'll try and figure out what I can do, and I'll bring you back in when I have an idea. So I have a little pathway set up. It's going all around the dungeon. It kind of bends in over here because I didn't want it to be a straight line. I'm not convinced about the minecart that I have. It's quite bulky. Like the top is fine. The bottom is kind of bulky. Kind of want it to be like, kind of want the wheels to be like only like the first 2 pixels almost. But yeah, I like it. I do need like a tunnel, so I'll probably do that on a live stream. Yeah, I'll get the tunnel in over there and I'll get back to you. On stream, we did finish up the tunnel. We also fixed up the wheels on the minecart. These look a lot better than the like tiny crushing wheels that we had on it. And I'd say let's ride it back to the start. For now, I have a button set up to do everything. I don't know if I'll keep the button or I'll do something else, but for now I have a button. The door opens and we are off. The tunnel itself does need a little more detailing, definitely like on the roof. And we could put in some windows that look into the redstone. But overall, I like the shape. I like that it's a bit windy, not too much. But this takes us back all the way, if you give me a second, over here. And then the extra door opens and we are back at start. This minecart is going to go back in like, I think it's 10 seconds. Can I see? Yes, 10 seconds. So right now, for instance. And yeah, that's good. We do need to do the detailing and stuff. And we have actually like a little bit more detailing to do on the boss fights. But before I do that, I want to figure out how to get the mobs that I want to use for the boss fights into their respective chambers. We've been tinkering, again, on stream, we've been tinkering with a little system that we have over here. Let me run you through it. Basically, what we want to do is we want to store a good amount of, in this case, witches, because that's going to be our mini boss fight. But we want to be able to store at least 10 witches for either side, so 20 in total. But we only want to dispense one of these witches. So what we're doing here is we're reading that detector rail that where the minecart's sitting on, and we're sending that system over here. So if I all right, so as you can see, this is how a bay would look without a minecart in it. This rail is ready to receive a minecart, which we can demonstrate right now. So once we receive it, that rail is going to switch to the output, and we are pushing that piston up right there. And that's important, because what we'll have, and that'll be more clear once I get all of these bays in place, but we'll have a redstone line spanning across this entire system, and that's where we'll dispense the minecarts from. So the bay closest to where I'm now, so we'll have 10 in a row that way. The bay closest to my position right now that has a minecart will have that block sitting up, meaning that only that piston gets activated, letting the minecart go. I know this all sounds like gibberish for now, but I'm going to get the rest of the system in, and yeah, I hope that will make it a bit more understandable, I guess. You know what? Give me a second. I'll get this half in, and then I can demonstrate it to my heart's content. So I've got the entire setup, or at least one half of the entire setup done. These are 10 bays, so we've already got one minecart in here, and then we have 9 empty ones. And I kind of want to show you how this decides which one is empty, which one is not. So we have this torch over here powering this piston, right? It's in the negative, so if this bay is empty, that piston is up, meaning the system is primed. As you can see, this bay is full. This torch powers this piston, pushing the block down, meaning it disconnects this system, this entire system, from that one. Meaning that even though if we would put a minecart in there, this signal right here, that one, cannot continue to that piston, meaning that this block will not be raised. So because this one is empty, right there, these are all still up. The moment we start loading up all these bays, all of these are going to get pushed down. That's the explanation. I hope that makes sense. I just hope that it's clear enough that people understand what this is doing, because I need to mirror this on that side. Alright, we have the entire thing set up. We've got the second wing in, which is great. I have a backup over here. I kind of want to do something for the boss fight as well. So the lower half is for that, but the top half is for the witches, which are going to lead into this room over here at both sides, right? So right now, they'll each be on this platform. Minecart should come around, hit this cactus, and get broken into the chest. And that's kind of what I want to test out right now. Alright, that should bring one of these over to our first bay. Beautiful. As we expected it to work. Schmoovin. Last bay. No, second to last bay. There we go. Right. We're in the last bay, ready to go. Let's see if they actually... Oh, wait. No, before we do that, I forgot. I forgot to power those last rails over there. Okay, let's do this. Let's test this out. Okay, they've got more momentum now, which is great. There they go. And they got delivered. They're right in the spot where I need them to be, actually. So we know witches will work. I want to test out, because I don't think you can put iron golems into minecarts. Okay, so apparently not. How am I going to get iron golems for the boss fight is the question. Because the thing is, here's the quick answer. You cannot just make an iron golem, right? I mean, I could, right? I could, but the problem is it wouldn't attack me if I had built it, or if it was a golem made out of iron and a pumpkin. The only reason these guys attack you if you hit them is because they're trying to defend villagers, right? So it has to be a villager spawn golem for it to fight back. I'm gonna have to think this through. Okay, give me an idea. I'll also think about how I can get 20 witches in an easy way, and I'll be right back when I have an idea about that. The witches are gonna be fairly easy as long as I get a channeling trident. And then for the iron farm, or for the golem farm, I have no idea. So if you guys over in the comments have ideas on how we can make a mechanism to spawn golems, single them out, and then transport them into this chamber, which it is prepped. Like we have it set up entirely, right? I want to drop them down this 3x3 hole right here. The question is how. I could set up an iron farm and just not kill the golem and then have it drop down. That's something, but I don't know. Let me know what your ideas are, and I'll see if I can come up with something in between episodes. On the other hand, I'm gonna go and grab, or at least try and find a trident, try and get channeling on it, because we are gonna have to turn 20 villagers into witches. Where are you? I know one of you has a trident. Oh, he has one. Try and avoid him. Hit. Come on. Hit. And hit again. Hey, we got one. Now, let's get out of here. There we go. Channeling acquired. So this should be right above where we're gonna store all the witches. So what I was planning on doing is we'll dig down, and then we can use this island over here as a turning station. Okay. And then I'm gonna light up the entire island. That way we don't get any zombie spawns. I'm gonna use mini HUD to do that. And a bunch of torches. So, villager breeder. We need enough beds to accommodate any villager we want. So 20 of them should be fine. I hope this is going to be close enough. And then we need food. I think I have a couple of pieces of bread on me. Let's get you guys going. We don't have to look at it. Yeah, you pick it up. That's not a good sign. Okay, so I think the beds do need to go in the park. Now that's working. So the beds do need to go in the pen. I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna be observing them, counting until we have 20, and then we'll get back to you, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you in a second. Okay, I have 20 of them. They still need to grow up, so I'll wait for that. And then I'll be putting my copper lightning rods over here. And hopefully, these will all turn into witches. So yeah, let's wait, and then kind of need a thunderstorm as well. The villagers are all grown up. They're beautiful, right? And then I already set up a little like ramp. I do have a system because I think they bred more than I need. So I'll weed out the ones that are not called the twin witches. And I think if I do this, they won't be able to get through it. And that's going to be easier because now we can just lay down some track and have that be our easy way of getting them out of here. So yeah, we can just place some minecart up here. We're away from the witches because these are going to be witches. And I don't want them to pelt me with potions every time. Yeah, we'll just stand here, put a minecart on here, power it, have it go through. And then I need a way to activate this. So I'll set that up. We'll wait for a thunderstorm, which I know is pretty boring. They're not that common, but I'll wait for it. I've asked the guys to not sleep through it until all of these are turned into witches, and I'll get back to you. There's good and bad news. That's the good news. They're all witches now. Bad news is I wasn't online when it happened. I do have some invest potion from other endeavors that we had, but yeah, I'd better take this and then let's not get too close. Take off all the armor so that we're not visible. All witches, they're all looking good. I need to take care of those minecarts. Okay, so technically that should work, right? If I do that, that should get pushed out. All right, and then I should be able to send this guy off to the races. There we go, and then if we go and look down here, I've set up everything so he can be received. Apparently not. Wait a minute. Oh wait, he is in there. Yeah. Look. Okay, let's try that again, I guess. Why? Oh, it's because of... I'm just gonna rework the system and I'll just move them in manually. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. Okay, let's make a little hole, I would say, would be the easiest way to do it. Right, like... This is gonna be a bit of a mess, but I'm gonna take this down in like a second. Also, we want to cover this up, because otherwise we'll have some trouble. So what we'll do is we'll have a little snaking rail line. So we'll come in here, we'll go like that. Like that. Good. And then we just need to move that over one. No, don't hurt yourselves. Okay, so he did get picked up, which is great, which is what I want. Oh, I need to get in there and push him. And he's off. Now you do that 18 more times. I'm gonna move you guys, over here. And this is the last guy. We'll do that and then check on him, see if he gets in here the right way. And that's 20 of them. Ready to go. Now the question is, do we keep this all set up? Probably not. It's quite ugly, you know. We know how to do it now. I'm gonna take a nap and I'll clean up and I'll see you all when I'm done. And alright, that'll be the end of the video. We did a lot of stuff. We did a lot of technical stuff, and we struggled a lot getting the witches in here, but we're a step closer to the end of the dungeon. I just have to do the boss fight, and that's about it. But I hope you've enjoyed it enough to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. No. They're all getting out. Okay. No. Get me out.